Hey, it's Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. It's the next day after my last video, and I got a phone call, and I was given a bunch of flack about something that I said yesterday. And so maybe it, now this person is closely affiliated with the Attorney General's office. I say if you take a paycheck from them, you're pretty closely affiliated, but I thought that I was too hard on the Attorney General about this. And so let me explain my position, because a lot of you are new coming into this Cesar McGee thing. And I titled that yesterday, I Told You So. Okay, let me back it up then again. In 2011, after many years of planning, the DNR dropped a bomb on the public, and it was the Invasive Species Order, the ISO, right? And most people didn't even know that they drafted it or dropped it on us. No, they didn't. I didn't. I found out about it when I was delivering pork products to one of my restaurants, and the restaurateur said that your pig's illegal now. And I'm like, what? And so come to find out, this Invasive Species Order, the ISO, had a list of animals that were now on the invasive species list. The DNR had added them to the invasive species list, right there with the lamprey eel and the Asian carp. And it was feral pigs. I thought, fine, I don't care. I don't have feral pigs. A feral pig, by definition, is a pig that was domesticated and then either was abandoned or escaped, and then in order to survive, it has to rewild itself. And that can be any place. It can be in the city, it can be in town, it can be in the woods, it can be in the desert. It doesn't have to be a certain place. It can be any place. And anything can go feral. A pig can go feral, dog can go feral, children can go feral. Anything can go feral. So that, by definition, is a feral pig. And because they added it, I said, fine, I don't care. You want to declare war on feral pigs, fine. But they said that because our pigs had certain characteristics, that they were feral. And then they backed up and they said, well, they could become feral, right? And so we wanted to talk with them about that because it's pretty broad. And we said, hey, you're going to have DNR officers that are going to be killing people's livestock because of these characteristics. We said the Invasive Species Order is way too broad, because it includes domestic animals in it. And of course, then we got into the whole constitutional issue. If a department, a bureau, like the Department of Natural Resources, comes out with an order or a regulation or a fatwa that is repugnant, that means it's 180 out to your constitutional rights, then it is null and void. There's a problem with that. And this Invasive Species Order made it so that a conservation officer could kill your pig and claim that he believed it was a feral pig. And now you're not protected because this Invasive Species Order has, in effect, superseded your constitutional rights. And we called foul. And when I said that I sued the state, I didn't sue them for money. I sued them for clarification because I am in this business and I wanted to continue my business. And they are going to my customers and telling them, well, these animals are illegal. And so then my customers didn't want to buy from me. And all of a sudden my business went from a pretty good business to a not good business at all that was actually a liability. And we had to depopulate our animals because we couldn't sell them. And there was a controversy for 3 years over it. We got to within 10 days of our trial, and the Attorney General's office, that's Bill Schuette, dropped all charges against us. They said that we mysteriously complied, and we said we haven't done anything. But the judge, here in Sauk County, he kind of went along with it. It wasn't right. And see, what we wanted to do in that court of law was we wanted to, first of all, we wanted to say, okay, do we have a feral pig problem in Michigan? And DNR, if you say we do, you can't just say it, you have to prove it. Now, I would say a feral pig problem would equal lots of photographs, lots of dead bodies with photographs of them, and then let's examine these. Let's examine this evidence in a court of law, because you can't just say because we say so. Not in a court of law. They do that in the court of public opinion. You'll notice in that TV6 news they said that it was justified because these animals can carry disease. Can. A child can carry a disease. A ferret can carry disease. You know, can. Doesn't mean it does. So we wanted to get this resolved. We wanted to determine, are there feral swine in Michigan? Yes or no? Because we're going to get one or the other answer, you know. And I think that our proof that there is no, or it is not an epidemic problem, not a problem that should require all animals on farms to be depopulated, I think we could have proved that, and I don't think they could. So they dropped all charges. We also wanted to put the invasive species order under the microscope in a court of law and say, is this constitutional? You know, does the Department of Natural Resources have the authority as a bureau, as a department, to issue an order that takes people's property from them? Because remember, the Fifth Amendment says your life, your liberty, your property is protected under due process of law. That's not due process. Due process of law is when a representative puts forth a bill, the bill makes it through the House, makes it through the Senate, and then it goes to the governor's office and is signed into law. That is due process of law. And then if I have pigs that are illegal, outlawed, with a law on my, then I am liable, right? Then I am liable to be put in jeopardy because I am breaking the law, like robbing banks. Everybody knows it's against the law. You never hear it's against policy, you know. They don't use that. They'll say it's against the law, and they say that, but they throw that around pretty loosely, and you have to know the difference. Okay, this all comes down to constitutional rights, and that was one of the things that we wanted to get hammered out in a court of law for everybody to see. It didn't happen, and why did Bill Schuette drop all charges against us? Because this is a tool that these tyrants use. They use these departments to make these blanket statements that never get checked, and the populace drops right in line. Who do you think up in Marquette County right now is going to say, you know what, I think I'm going to get me a pet pig. That pig is kind of cute there, Cesar McGee. No, people aren't, because the word on the street is the DNR will, if they see it, they'll shoot it. Right? That's the word on the street. Okay, so that's why I was hard on the Attorney General, because the citizenry, us, we said we're calling foul here with what this department is doing to the citizenry. We want to take it into a court of law and get it hammered out. And the Attorney General, the top cop, Bill Schuette, thwarted that. He thwarted that effort. That is our right as citizens to do that. And this feral swine thing, I've said this before, this issue is a microcosm of a bigger problem. American citizens have the right to grow their own food. They have that. And little by little, these agencies are issuing these fatwas that are not legal, not constitutional, but people do fall in line. Because they can't afford to, they don't know, and they can't afford to go up against these agencies. These agencies really are a bad thing for America because they have gotten way too powerful, and industrial agriculture, instead of going and buying senators and buying representatives and buying, you know, political parties, they just go right to these agencies and buy them, and these agencies can get more done quicker, and these agencies don't give a rip about constitutional rights. Okay. That's my explanation for why I'm hanging this one right around Bill Schuette's neck. He had the opportunity to straighten this out. He took an oath to protect and defend the constitutional rights of the people of this state. And the right to own a pig it's a constitutional right. And I know people are thinking, well, you're making a big deal out of this. Well, what if it was a car? What if it was a firearm? You know, we really have to take a stand on this, okay? That's what I'm saying. Now, the first step in this, and this has got to be done. This is easy. I already done it yet. I already done it today. Did it today. The first step is to call the Sheriff's Department in Marquette County or email them. It's easy. All right, I got the phone number here, but all you got to do is just Google Marquette County, Michigan Sheriff's Department, and you'll get all that information. Send them an email. Email's better because then they have a paper trail of the people that are saying, hey, what are you going to do about this? You know, a law has been broken, a person's private property has been stolen, an animal has been shot, and they have no law to hang their hat on. The individual that did that, of course, his boss said he was acting within department policy, and I remember I explained that to you yesterday. Department policy does not supersede the U.S. Constitution. Even Bill Schuette would agree with that. At least he says he does. So let's call them, email them. Email is better. Email is much better. And it's easy. You don't have to talk to some snotty secretary if they have one. They probably don't. Marquette's a great place. And let's not let Marquette fall under fear. Let's not. Let's take control up there, County Sheriff, and do your job. You took an oath to protect and defend the constitutional rights of the people that elected you. Now, you have a job to do here. You have a duty to arrest that individual and then let your prosecutor take it from there. But you have that duty. And I know it's going to take some stones, but rise to the occasion, son. All right, the telephone number there is 906-225-8435. The county sheriff's name is Michael Lovelace, and I do not know him. But this is his chance to be a hero. Let's see what you got. Let's get that done today. Thanks. I'll be back to you tomorrow. Bye.